Call. Welcome to our magical world of bedtime stories. Tonight, we're venturing deep into the lush green jungle for a classic tale you'll love. So snuggle up, get comfy, and let's begin our adventure. Deep in a forest, where trees stretched up to touch the sky, a wolf pack lived peacefully. One evening, as Father Wolf was hunting, he heard a strange sound. Peeking through the bushes, he found a tiny, abandoned baby. "It's a man cub," he thought. Gently, he picked up the baby and carried him back to his den. Watching from the shadows was the fearsome tiger, Shere Khan. He was furious. He had stolen the baby from a human village for his own meal, and now the wolf had taken his prize. Back at the den, Mother Wolf and her cubs welcomed the little baby with kindness. "We'll call him Mowgli," she declared. "It means brave, because he is a very brave baby." From that day forward, Mowgli became part of the wolf family. Mother Wolf fed him and cared for him as one of her own, and he grew up playing happily with his wolf brothers. The jungle was his home, and all the animals were his friends. He swung on vines just like the monkeys and learned the secrets of the forest. But Shere Khan never forgot about Mowgli. He watched from a distance, waiting for the perfect chance to reclaim his lost meal. As Mowgli grew, the wise wolf leader, Akela, knew the boy needed special teachers. He called upon Baloo, the kind and gentle bear, and Bagheera, the sleek and silent black panther. Akela told them, "A man cub is clever. You must teach him the laws of the jungle and protect him." So, Baloo became Mowgli's teacher. He showed him how to climb the highest trees to find sweet honey and delicious nuts. He taught Mowgli the sounds of the forest, which meant a friend was near and which meant danger. Mowgli listened to every word, and soon he could run as fast as a deer and swim like an otter. Bagheera, the panther, taught him how to spot the cruel traps that humans sometimes left for animals, and more importantly, how to escape them. One day, one of Mowgli's wolf brothers fell into a deep pit trap. Shere Khan saw his chance and crept closer, ready to pounce on the helpless wolf cub. But Mowgli was quicker. Using his clever mind, he rigged a vine to pull his brother out of the pit, saving him just in time. Shere Khan roared with frustration, defeated once again by the small man cub. Baloo also taught Mowgli some magic words, a special call that would let every creature in the jungle know he was a friend. "We be of one blood, you and I," Baloo would say. Mowgli memorized the phrase, feeling safe and protected, believing no animal would ever harm him. Shere Khan, realizing he couldn't catch Mowgli alone, devised a wicked plan. He went to the Bandar-log, a tribe of lawless, mischievous monkeys who followed no rules. He told them about the clever man cub, Mowgli. The monkeys chattered excitedly. "He can teach us his human tricks." One said, "We could become the wisest creatures and rule the entire jungle." One evening, as Mowgli was building a shelter from an approaching storm, the monkeys watched him from the treetops. They saw their chance. As the sun began to set, two monkeys swooped down, grabbed Mowgli, and whisked him away through the canopy. They carried him high above the forest floor to a remote, overgrown hill. Suddenly, Mowgli found himself surrounded by hundreds of chattering monkeys. He knew he'd been kidnapped, but he didn't panic. He had to think of a way to send for help. Just then, he saw Chil the kite, soaring high in the sky. Remembering Baloo's lesson, Mowgli shouted with all his might, "We be of one blood, you and I?" Chil heard the call and knew a friend was in trouble. He glided down quietly. "Tell Baloo and Bagheera, I've been taken by the Bandar-log," Mowgli whispered urgently. "I need help." "Of course, brother, she right away," Chil replied. Avengers. As a monkey spotted him, he flew off swiftly. The monkeys dragged Mowgli to their home, the cold Lairs, an ancient, ruined city long abandoned by humans. Mowgli tried to escape, but the monkeys were everywhere, and they caught him every time. Meanwhile, thanks to Chil, Baloo and Bagheera learned of Mowgli's capture. Knowing they couldn't face the entire monkey tribe alone, they went to ask for help from the wisest and most feared creature in the jungle, Kaa, the great rock python. Together, the three friends made their way to the cold Lairs. They hid behind a giant statue, waiting for the right moment. "Now," Kaa whispered. Bagheera moved like a shadow, leaping into the crowd of monkeys. He scattered them with his powerful paws, sending them flying. The Bandar-log shrieked in fear. Mowgli was almost free, but one monkey called for backup, and soon hundreds more swarmed Bagheera. They grabbed Mowgli again and locked him inside a crumbling stone chamber. Mowgli remembered a large water tank in the ruins. He knew monkeys hated water. "Bagheera," he shouted through a crack in the wall. "Jump in the water!" Bagheera heard him and leaped into the tank, safe from the monkey's grasp. At the same time, Baloo charged in, fighting with all his might, but he was quickly outnumbered. Just as the monkeys were overwhelming him, Kaa appeared. The giant python threw himself into the middle of the fight. With mighty swings of his tail, he sent monkeys flying in every direction. The Bandar-log, who had always been terrified of Kaa, panicked and fled into the jungle. Blue finally caught his breath. Bagheera climbed out of the water. "I'm in here," Mowgli shouted. With one powerful strike of his tail, Kaa smashed the wall of the chamber. Mowgli was free. He ran out and was met with loving hugs from Baloo and Bagheera. He thanked his three brave friends for saving his life. Defeated and humiliated, Shere Khan finally realized he could never harm Mowgli as long as he had such strong and loyal friends. He gave up his hunt for good. Years passed, and Mowgli grew into a strong young man who knew all the secrets of the jungle. But a growing curiosity led him to the edge of the forest near a human village. There, he saw a woman. She froze the moment she saw him. The look in his eyes was so familiar. It was the same as the baby boy she had lost to the jungle so many years ago. With a trembling voice, she asked him if he had a tiny, crescent-shaped birthmark on his chest. Mowgli was stunned. Only he and his wolf mother knew about that mark. He showed it to her, and in that moment, they both knew. They were mother and son. Bagheera and Baloo watched from a distance, their hearts filled with both sadness and love. They understood that their friend had finally found his true home. They whispered their goodbyes, promising they would always be brothers. Mowgli lived happily ever after with his human family, but he never forgot the jungle that raised him, or the loyal friends who were his first family. I hope you enjoyed that wonderful story. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button to join us for more amazing adventures.